Hello, my dear students. Standard 12 English Medium Computer Studies related batch for Science, Commerce and Arts stream students. In this session, we will discuss and in detail we learn this different chapters, right? So this is the first Sunday. So I will show you the first chapter, and the chapter it is related with HTML and KompoZer software. Chapter number 1, 8 marks MCQs and creating HTML forms using KompoZer. This is the chapter name. So let's start this chapter. Okay, so we start first chapter. It is creating HTML forms using KompoZer. And in this session, we will discuss this chapter important points, and I have already underlined this important points, and from that important points, number of multiple choice questions comes in the board exam. Okay, so let's start it. The first paragraph, and in this paragraph, the first point it is HTML forms are used to help visitors of the website to input data, and it allows the more interactivity and the control in the data entry, right? So if you want to create different types of online forms, then we use the HTMLs and the KompoZer software. Okay, so HTML forms are used, and the full form of HTML, you know that it is a hypertext markup language, and the definition is given related with the form. It is a form in HTML is a container used to collect the different kinds of input from the user, and HTML forms are contains different types of elements, and we learn in detail the different elements like labels, checkboxes, text input fields, radio buttons, submit button, reset buttons, and many more buttons. We easily create it by using HTML, and these elements are used to enter different types of data, as well as you can validate the form within the different forms, right? So let's start this elements. We discuss this elements, and elements are given, and elements are used to describe in this section below. The first one it is the form, the second one it is input, the third one it is the text area, and the fourth one it is the select and option element. So let's start it with the first one, and the first one is the form element, right? So it is used to create HTML forms, and it acts as a container for all the elements used in that form. For that we use this tag, and it is the container tag, then form and slash form. It is used to implement this element, and the example is given in this text, that is the form with the space action is equal to register.html, and the method is post, and you write the different input elements. Okay, and you observe that in this form element the two attributes are used. How many attributes are used? Two attributes. That attributes names are action, and the second one it is the method. So what is the action attribute? It is used to specify where to send the form data and when the form it is submitted, and it takes a file name as a value, and this file it is open when the user click on the submit button after that filling the different types of form data. The next one it is the method attribute. The method attribute it is specify hypertext transfer protocol method, and it is used when sending the data, right? It takes the two values. It takes two values. Which are the two values? The two values names are get and post. And the first one it is the get method. It is retrieves the data from the form and send it to the server by attaching it at the end of URL, uniform resource locator. And this method it will allow only limited amount of informations to be sent at a time, and if you want to just enter or collect the text data at the time, we use this get method. Next one It is the post method. It is sent through the block through the hypertext transfer protocol transactions, and this data includes the body of request, and this method does not have any restrictions on the data length, right? So you add the photographs, audio, video, animations and images. Okay, so and the default value for the method attribute, it is get, right? After that second element, it is the second element, its name is input element. Okay, so input elements are used to insert different types of various fields. Which are the fields you create? You create a radio button, you create a checkboxes, you create a text box, you create a password field, you create a submit button, and you create a reset button, right? So these are the different attributes are used with the input tag, right? And this input elements, if you want to add, then use the tag, it is container as well as the empty tag. Use this tag to implement this element. Okay, so this input add tags has different three attributes. The three attributes names are the type, name and value. Okay, so what is the use of type attribute? The type attribute, it is input element, it is specify the field that is to be created in the form, right? So what type of form, what type of attribute you want to create, you use type option, type attribute. After the name attribute, it is specify the name it is used for the field in that form. And the last one, it is the value attribute. Value attribute, it is specify the default value in that particular form. And this is the one table, it is given the different values of the attributes are given. The first one, it is radio button, and any one radio buttons can be selected at a time from the group of radio buttons, right? It is used to select the single items from the given group of item. And this is the syntax and example. Okay, next one, checkbox. The multiple checkboxes can be created at a time and generally used to select the multiple items from the given group of items. And this is the syntax. If you want to define the checkbox, then use input space type is equal to checkbox, name is equal to var, and the value is equal to txt text. Okay, next one, it is if you want to create a text field, then use the text attribute, right? And a user can enter any data of his choice in this text field. And this is the one example or the syntax. The next one, it is the password. It is similar to the text field, but characters are not displayed to the user. Instead of the characters type, it is converted into the non-readable format. And for that, you write this syntax. Next one, if you want to create a submit button, by clicking on the submit button, the values of the data it is entered in the form, it is submitted to the file specified in the action attribute of the form elements, and you can specify that file name. After that, this is the syntax. And the last one, it is the reset button. On the clicking on the reset button, value of the data entered in the form are clear and set back to the default value. And this is the syntax, you write it. Okay, the next one, third one, it is the third element, it is the text area element. It is very easy if you want to add the multi-line text input. So for that you use this tag, right? So to implement this element, it will allow the entering unlimited number of characters, right? And used to enter the different types of comments, reports, or the you write the long descriptions of the product. After that, size of the text area elements can be specified by using the rows and calls attribute, right? The row attribute, it is used to set the number of rows of the text, and it is visible without scrolling up or down. After that, if you want to add the column attributes, it is used to set the number of columns, right? And this is the one example, right? So if you want to define a command, then write this tag, right? Write this tags, so it will generate a command box, right? the last one, it is the fourth one. It is the select an option element. So select element, it is used to create the drop down list or the menu in the form, and option elements, it is used to specify the value to be displayed in that menu, right? So for that select tag, it is used to create drop down menu, and option tag, it is used to create elements within the menu, right? And this is the syntax. You just apply the syntax and you add the multiple cities by using the select and option tags. Okay, so these are the four elements. By using these four elements, you create a online registration form, and the HTML coding is given in this textbook, right? And it will generate this form in the in this Firefox or the web browser, right? So it will display like this. Okay, after writing HTML code, right? So after the HTML, then when you write the HTML text, it is the tedious process, right? And the simple method use, instead of HTML, use the integrated development environment based softwares, right? And the IDE softwares are applications that provides the complete facilities to the programmer to develop the software by using, and it will provide the GUI facilities, right? So graphical user interface, text and the code editors, and the compile or interpreters and the debuggers are available. And these are the some examples related with the IDE based software, right? KompoZer, Eclipse, JBuilder and NetBeans. These are the examples of the open source integrated development environment. Okay, and let's start this KompoZer software, and the introduction is given in this textbook. The first one, it is the open source software and based on IDE integrated development environment, and you can download it from the site kompozer.net. And it is the simple graphical interface known as what you see is what you get, and it is the web authorizing system which integrates the web page development, and you can manage the website files, right? So web file management, it is also available in this KompoZer software. Then KompoZer incorporates the site manager, which gives the rapid access to your files both as local machines in your PC, as well as you can manage your remote server, right? And it will also support the styles through the CSS, right? So it will support the CSS, right? And we will learn CSS and the JavaScript in the second chapter. Okay, and the interface is given related with the KompoZer software, right? So view different toolbars and the status bar are available. You can just check it by using the view, show or hide option. After that, the option listed are the compositions toolbar, format toolbar 1 and format toolbar 2. After that, it will also gives you the edit toolbar and the status bar, right? And you can manage your site as well as the files and directories by using the site manager. And the shortcut key to open site manager, it is F9, and it is the toggle key. When you press first time, it will display the site manager, and the second time it will disable the site manager. This is the site manager, right? So you manage your website by using this option. Okay, so this is the interface of the KompoZer software, right? And the menu bars, it is on the top, right, related to the file, edit, view, insert, format, table, tools and help, right? And the menu bars has the three toolbars. The three toolbar names are the composition toolbar, format toolbar 1 and format toolbar 2. In the compositions toolbar, used to create the different types of files, save as, publish your web pages. After that, format toolbar 1 and 2, it is used to format your text, bullets, numberings and similar formatting options. After that, in the center of the window, you can see the two panes. The two panes are the site managers and the blank web page, right? Site manager, it is the powerful tool used to navigate within the site or between the site. You can close the site manager pane by clicking the button F9, right? So this is the shortcut key. After that, there are three viewing modes are given. The three viewing modes are the normal, HTML text and preview. The preview mode, it is offers the page view and see in the web browser, right? After that, normal view, it is similar to the preview mode, right? And the table outlines also visible in that normal view. Okay, HTML text view help us those who are familiar with HTML, and yellow markers is used to indicate the start tags for all the elements, right? And the markers select the highlights and whole of that element. After that, on the left side of the pen, it will display the design, split and the source tab. Design tab, it is used to design the web page, and split tabs, it is you can add HTML source codes, and the source tab, it shows the details of HTML coding, right? It will help to edit the source codes. You can, if you know HTML, then you can edit into the source code, right? And next one, it is if you want to create a new file in the KompoZer software, go to the file and new, and the shortcut key is Control N. So when you press it, it will display this create menu option, and click on the create new file, right? After that, if you want to open it, go to the file and open. Shortcut key is Control O, right? And the composition in this the toolbar is given in the composition toolbar. After that, if you want to open recently file, right? So if the file has been opened recently, then you can also open by using file and recent pages. And if you want to define a form, use this option, that is insert form and define form. This way you create a form, right, by clicking on the insert form and define form. And the toolbar is given in the composition toolbar, right? In the composition toolbar, the form option is given, right? So use it. After that, fill the form name, write action URL, select the method and click on the OK button, right? And then this way you add it into the form properties dialog box and create and open a new web page, and then write it. So insert form and define label, you define the label and you create a form, right? So you add the text fields, right? So write name, and this is the text box. You create labels and the text box in the field. After that, similarly you add the email addresses. After that, if you want to create a submit button, then select the form field properties, click on the submit button and write the field name and the field value submit. You create a submit button. So this way it is very easy, and I already create one video related with this practical, right? So use this practical, right? And it is practical number 2. Use and refer my video, right? Practical video to create online registration form. And the most important point, it is remember, save your file with the HTML or HTML extension, right? And if you create a website and this page is your home page, then will open when you type website URL, then save page as index.html, right? After that, it is given how to create a define form. You create and define form and create a registration form by using this option, first name, middle name, last name with the text boxes. You create a radio button for the male and female, right? After that, next one, if you want to create a checkbox, go to the form field properties, select the checkboxes and then write the field name and the field value and then click on the OK button. So it will generate this type of hobby field, right, with the checkboxes, right? After, if you want to create a text area, go to the form and text area, select the form field name, address, rows by columns and click on the OK button, right? So it will generate this type of form, this type of drop down list it is created, right? So you also create an address box by using the text area, right? And it will display this simple form by using HTML text, right? And the different fields, right? And the KompoZer software, right? So if you want to design it, go to this option, format, page colors and background, right? Select the page colors, normal text, link text, active link text, visited link text and the background. Select it and then you add it in your form. So it will display colorful registration form, right? So this is the end of the first chapter, right? It is a summary and the important points are given. I already underlined it. It is very useful for your board exam. It's a 8-mark multiple choice questions comes in the board exam. So this underlined points are very important, right? So refer my video. Okay students, thank you.